What would you do if you woke up tomorrow morning and knew for certain that you were in the final 48? You had 48 hours to live. That's it. 48 hours, game over, time out, hit the deadline. What would you do? Would you hit the phone, call your loved ones, tell them what was happening, that you wanted to spend time with them? Would you jump on the internet and book that flight to Paris or Africa or Cuba, the place that's been on your bucket list to go to? Would you call the friend that you hadn't spoken to in 5 years because the two of you had an argument, some silly argument that you can't even remember the reason for? Would you call them to make amends, make an apology? Or would you go into your house, into the cupboard, and pull out that 12-year-old scotch, that 8-year-old rum that you kept for a special occasion? Guess what? This is it. What would you do? Final 48 hours. I don't know what your answer is to that question, obviously, but I do know one thing for sure. If you woke up and knew you had 48 hours, you would be laser focused on what you did with every one of those hours, every one of those minutes. And that's one of the things I want to talk about, is how we spend the time we're in right this minute. Being a journalist, being a reporter, an everyday reporter, has made a huge impact on my life, because you just never know who you're going to meet and the kinds of issues they're going to have. And then you don't know about the lessons that they're going to teach you. Sometimes it doesn't happen immediately. It's not while you're on the scene and you're reporting the issue. It's not until days, weeks, maybe even months later that you think about what someone has said to you, what they've told you, and you realize, wow, there's a life lesson there. That's something I should remember and hold close to my heart and perhaps tell someone else about. I've learned a lot from the people that I've interviewed, that I've talked to, from the people who've been open enough to share their lives and their life stories. We all have things that happen in our lives, and man, I pray it's nothing like 9/11 or Orlando or Newtown. So many incidents. But whatever they are, whatever your issue is, you know, a child is lost. You face separation or divorce. Your company goes out of business, your job is gone. Whatever your issue is, you need to give yourself time to react, to process, to really think about what's happened. What does this mean to me personally? In that 48 hours, you need to think through the process, but don't stay there too long. I want to talk to people about some of the things I've learned along the way. I've had some of the best teachers in the world, those people whose stories I've covered. They taught me lessons about resilience, survival, courage, all kinds of lessons that now I've had a chance to think about, write about, and I'd like to talk to people about that. I plan to do speeches wherever I can to talk about just how we can take the tools that we have and use our lives better. So we should react when something happens, take the time to process it, adjust our attitudes, make choices, and then engage, embrace life. Don't just half-heartedly go after it. If you have dreams, if you have thoughts about, man, One of these days, I sure would like to be a teacher. I've thought about art, you know. I dabble a little bit on the side, but I'd really like to try it sometime. What are you doing right now in your 48 hours to make your dream reality? Don't defer your dream. This is the time to embrace it, engage it, shake it. Take a little piece of it, even if you can't stop everything you're doing, and suddenly become that written scholar that you want to be. Write a little each day, whatever your dream is. Don't let it sit there and wither on the vine. If you've noticed, even without any fancy graphics, if you've noticed a kind of pattern here, you're right, react. Adjust your attitude. Choices, make your choices. Embrace. It is a race. A race to grab those 48 hours, use them intentionally. Don't just react to someone else. Take your time, make your decision. Use that 48 hours, use it up, because nothing is guaranteed and the clock is ticking. Thank you so much for your attention. It's a blessing for me to see you all here today. Thank you.